Let's work out. We're going to lift some dumbbell weights on the show today. Light dumbbell weights. And I've been prompted to do this show for a long time. People always ask me in my office, I want to lift weights, I know I need to for my bones and brains and joints and so forth. A lot of my patients won't go to the gym and they won't hire a personal trainer, but they will get some dumbbells for home, so they've always asking me for help. And I thought, but I just can't show you once and then have you go home and maybe mess it up type of thing. So as I get into the workout here, literally I'm going to show you 2 different workouts, 8 sets each, so we're going to be doing 16 sets. Wow, we're going to be tired after this show. And I'm going to show you these for home. I'm still going to encourage you to work with a personal trainer at least a few times. And there are awesome personal trainers in the Boston area. We're in Woburn, Massachusetts right now. Just get together with a trainer at least for a few sessions so they can watch you and specifically get into the little nuances of do it this way, don't do it that way. Right here in Woburn, we have Bill Murphy. In Stoneham, we have Kristen Marchese, a couple of personal trainers that I know, and the list goes on and on. So just work with somebody that you know, or somebody that a friend of yours has used to get that one-on-one consultation, again, at least for a few times. Okay. So why are we lifting weights? Well, one of the things we talked about is activity-wise, most of us are not doing enough activity. In the past, I've used a quotation that I learned from NPR, and this was back in 2013. And they said kids now are 52 hours a week in front of a video screen. 52 hours a week, that's 7.5 hours a day. And that's compared to 30 minutes outdoors. So who's going to win that fight, right? The updated numbers are now the average teenager spending 11 hours a day in front of a video screen. Most of that is a smartphone, right? 11 hours per day. I mean, it's like almost no human contact now, right? I understand if you're older, you're not spending that much time in front of a screen, or are you? We know that the average person watches 5 hours of TV per day in this country, and when you retire, that goes to 7 hours per day. So your new full-time job when you retire is TV. We need to undo some of that, and that's why we're going to pump some iron. People that walk for exercise, that's a good start, but I'm finding a lot of my walking patients are still getting osteoporosis. They're getting osteoporosis because they're not adding stress onto their bones, particularly their upper body, while they're working out. So walking is a good start, but it's not enough. So why do you need to lift weights? The main reason that I lift weights is, number one, for my brain, for my frontal lobe. This is you. Your frontal lobe is what you're all about. Everything else you can find in a dog or a cat or a horse. The thing that makes you an individual you is your frontal lobe, so you want to protect this, and you don't want Alzheimer's and age-related cognitive decline when you get older. One of the ways to protect this and to keep it strong and healthy is to move your body, but move your body with resistance exercise. Okay? So that's why you're doing it. You're doing it for your brain. Secondly, you do it for your physical body. So you want a good, tall, upright posture. More on that in a moment. You're going to do it for your bones. We know that you can prevent osteoporosis and keep your bones strong. I have taken patients with osteoporosis and moved them back over time, couple of years, to normal bone with the addition of some weightlifting exercises. That makes sense. And you do it for your posture. So with your posture, this is one of the rules. We did a show on this recently. Go to my YouTube page if you missed it. But if we lift weights appropriately, we're going to improve our posture. What we should do is more back exercises and fewer front exercises, right? That means more back and tricep and fewer of the chest and bicep. So big guys in a gym like me, that was a joke. Big guys in a gym are walking around like this, right? Because they're doing more front muscle exercises, too much benching and so forth, and not enough back, if you will, right? So as we get into the workouts, you're going to see, and I recommend this for all of us, is you're going to be doing twice as many in the back as the front, twice as many in the back of the arm as the front of the arm, to help promote upright posture. If you promote upright posture, you protect your frontal lobe. That's what we're all about. Got it? And also, before you begin this workout, check with your doctor. Get clearance from your doctor that it's okay to do some resistance exercise. So don't start until you have clearance from your doctor. The last thing I want to tell you is you want to be safe. You want to be safe as you work out. So your workout area, you want to check your workout area and make sure it is safe. A toy didn't end up here. The cat isn't over here. The dog isn't over here. Dishes aren't on the floor. A ball or whatever. Make sure that your weights that are down here are in a particular area that's off to the side and so forth. So you want to watch your area wherever you're going to work out. The only thing you need are dumbbells. Now dumbbells, you can borrow from somebody, right? So you don't have to necessarily go out and buy them unless you want to. But you can, I know you know people that have dumbbells and they're not using them, right? So get some dumbbells. If you're really new to this, you need super light weights, right? Super light weights. I have some really light ones here because I didn't feel like carrying in. I usually use 100-pounders. That was a second joke. I usually use heavier weights than this. Okay, but I didn't want to carry too many in the building. You can use heavier as time goes on. You might start with 1 pound and 3 pounds. A couple of the exercises you'll use a little bit more. Whatever, just get started. I would rather have you start light than heavy. You can always go heavier later. Too many patients come into my office doing some exercise programs, starting too hard, hurt themselves, they got to give it all up and start all over and so forth. Start light and be safe all around you. Okay. So, round 1, we're going to do 8 exercises, and then I'm going to give you round 2 with a few different exercises. We're going to start with exercise number 1. I'm going to select a bigger weight for this one because it's called a one-arm row. And notice, by the way, how I just lifted up that weight. That's another part of the safety. I didn't do this, okay, because you're going to end up in my office for something we could have prevented. Notice I went down into a nice squat and I picked up the weights. In this case, I only need 1 dumbbell. This is a one-arm row. Now, you can do this on the side of a couch, an ottoman, a chair, a bed. I just happen to have one of my chiropractic benches I brought in. You can do it any way you want. Here are the rules as you get into it. A nice, straight, flat spine. Do not allow yourself to do this because you'll burn this in. A nice, straight spine. The chin is neutral. It's not up. It's not down, it's neutral. And when you do a one-arm row, you're going to go slow like I'm going slow here. Concentrate on pulling the elbow up to the ceiling. See here? The elbow's up towards the ceiling. I'm imagining a string is pulling the elbow up to the ceiling. And let's start with 10 repetitions on this right side. I might lose count. You can count at home as you're doing this. Because I'm talking a lot, I'll lose count. But go slow, and even if you want to delay a little bit at the top, there you go. Notice also my knee is bent. Let's get that on the other side. So that is a one-arm row. This is a classic exercise. This is going to be your most important exercise. You're going to be doing this one over and over again. Flat spine, neutral chin, elongate that spine. Knees bent here. Pull that elbow up to the ceiling. Okay? Go slow. The slower you go, the more you're going to engage the muscle fibers. So you're going to get a better workout by going slowly. Make sense? So go slow, take your time, and the slower you go, you're going to find you need less weight to use. If I was cheating, I could use more weight, right? But don't do that, okay? I think that's somewhere around 7 and 8. We're going to do a couple more. One of the mistakes that I see is somebody will do this kind of thing in here. That's not the exercise. Imagine that elbow is coming up towards the ceiling like this. Think of that shoulder blade and elbow going towards the ceiling. And notice also I'm not doing that. Okay, one more time on this side just to show you that. It's nice, the body stays nice and still while we do that one. Okay? That is a one-arm row. Moving on to another exercise you're going to see a lot of. Maybe a little bit lighter on this one. This is a shoulder press. If you cannot do this one standing, you can do it sitting, depending on your physical condition. You can do most of these exercises sitting as well. Here's the sitting option for a shoulder press. Nice and tall, elongated spine, chin is neutral. Pull that spine up tall, and then you're going to do a shoulder press like this. Okay? I'll show you a couple of nuances in a moment. So you can get started standing if you want to. Just stand and go for it. I'm just showing you the alternate here, which is sitting, okay? And then I'm going to go back to the standing position now. Notice that I'm alternating too, okay? So I'm alternating right now like this because it's a better workout. It's better for the brain. This is like the cross crawl pattern, if you will. So as we throw in a bunch of these, now I'm going to go down and I'm going to throw in one more using both. And if you have good enough balance, notice right now I'm putting my feet together. Okay? I'm going to hold up here for several seconds, coming down, and then I'm going to push up again and hold for several seconds. You see? That's going to be a little bit different work. And then you can finish off with a couple of alternating ones if you want to. And we're done with the shoulder press. Carefully down towards the floor. Okay. Actually, I'm going to keep these. I'm going to keep these for the next one. So we are going to do a chest exercise next. Okay? But you're going to see as we go through this series, we're going to go back and finish up with a back exercise. So we're doing twice as many to the back. So if you don't have a bench like this, you can use, again, the couch, the bed, the floor. It doesn't matter. This is a chest press. Here we go. Straight up. Okay. This one I'm not going to alternate. I'm going to come straight up like this. Now notice I don't have the weights twisted like this. I have them twisted at an angle like so. It's just a little bit better for the shoulder. Okay, if you're using the floor, you'll notice that your elbows can only go to 90 degrees. That's okay. And then come all the way up. You do not have to lock out your elbows like this. You can bring them up to slightly bent and then down. It's just better for the joints if you work more of the mid-range. And even if you only go to here, let's say, and not even up to there, here, that's fine. Okay, going slowly. Don't have to worry about the spine position too much on this. Notice my knees are bent. That will take a little bit of pressure off. Coming out of the press, the bench press, if you will, or dumbbell press, coming out of this, you have to think of, well, what am I going to do with the weights? Okay. Now in this situation, my weights are light enough where I can come off and roll off to the side like so. If you're by yourself and the weights are a little heavier and you're doing them on a bed, you might need to put one down and put the other one down. Careful not to drop one on your head. More on that in a minute. And you can put them down like that. Okay. That's exercise number 3. Number 4, we're going to start getting into some tricep. Okay. So this is the tricep extension. And this one here, it looks like we're starting for the one-arm row again, and we are in that position with a nice tall spine, neutral chin, nice and flat here, but the elbow's going to be locked against your body here, and then we're going to go straight back. This one you're going to need a lighter weight. You certainly, with the one-arm row earlier, aren't going to be able to use the same weight for this tricep extension. Okay? This is a basic one here. If you want to, watch the weight now. You can twist it a little bit at the end if you care to, just to get a little bit more of that muscle activated. But notice I'm going slow, or you can just keep the dumbbell like so. Okay? Again, you can start with 10 repetitions. As you get stronger and fitter, you can do more. Coming out of that, getting that on the other side. Same thing. Always think of the posture and the setup before you begin. Nice, tall, elongated spine, flat back. Get the elbow locked and then go out like so. Tricep extension. Okay? Now, notice I'm not cheating. If I used a heavier weight, I might throw my body back like this and come in all the way like that. No need for our activities here. We're just going to go light enough where we can really concentrate on the muscle group that we're working, in this case the tricep extension. You'll do something like 10 on this side as well. Lost count again, but we're somewhere around 10. Okay? And then there you go, tricep. We're going to come back to tricep in a moment to double up on the back side, but we do want to get one bicep exercise in there too. So let's just do a classic bicep curl. The reason I put this one towards the end is a lot of people that are lifting weights will just grab them and start doing curls because it's easy to do. But again, that's a front muscle which promotes this. So I'm burying it down the list to let you know the other ones are more important. Bicep curl. Oh, look what I just did. I started from here and I pulled up that spine nice and tall, like I'm putting the top of the head on the ceiling, and off we go. Again, alternating. If you have good enough balance, bring those feet together, okay? And do it like this. Maybe the knees are slightly bent. Maybe you're doing a little bit of a pelvic tilt to take pressure off the lower back. Okay, so let's alternate like this. Nice, tall, upright posture. Again, if you need to sit, keep going if you want to. If you need to sit, you can do these sitting. Okay, if you don't have the capacity or you're not safe or balance standing. You can sit and do these too, but let's finish up with a couple more. Okay, and at the end, if you want to do a couple of them together at the same time, you certainly can. Again, notice I'm not cheating, doing things like this and moving other parts of the body. Nope, I'm just concentrating on the muscle that I'm using here. There's a bicep curl. Easy enough. Okay. Now we're going to go back and do another tricep exercise because we want to do double on the arms. So let's go ahead and do a tricep extension again. On group 2, round 2, I'll show you another tricep exercise, but let's make this one easy. We're going to come right back and do another set of 10 here. Thinking of posture, get that spine with a flat back, a nice tall elongated spine. The chin is neutral. The chin is not up, it's not down, it's neutral. Okay? Keeping that going, working that muscle slowly, and making sure that elbow stays locked against the side of the body. Okay, so you're using just the tricep muscle. And again, if you want to, you can give it a little curl at the top, and that will work it a little bit more. Let's get that on the other side. Tricep extension. Again, always set up your posture first. Take a moment, get that locked in. You're literally burning in a good posture, a better, stronger posture. Every time you think of posture and you do an exercise, you're teaching the muscles in your brain, this is the new me, not that, right? Here's the new me, nice and flat, and here we go, doing the tricep extension, okay? We might do shows in the future where we'll bring in some other type of equipment, resistant bands and balls and so forth. But this is for the people that you have dumbbells now, this is where you want to get started. Great starting point. This is better than doing nothing. Okay? So a set of tricep extensions on that side. We're almost done. We've got 2 more sets involved with this group. Now we're going to go back and use a heavier weight and go back to the one-arm row. Notice the way that I picked that up. Back to one-arm row because we want to do 2 back exercises for each front exercise. Flattened back, straight spine. Here we go. One-arm row like so. Concentrating on the elbow coming up towards the ceiling. I almost feel as though that my arm from here down is really not involved with the exercise. It's more of lifting the elbow towards the ceiling, you see? Going slow with that nice flat back, okay? This tripod position that I'm in is very stable too. A foot, a knee, and a hand, and that keeps the body nice and stable while I do the exercise. Okay, we'll get that on the other side. You could do somewhere around 10. Same thing on this side too. I've locked in my posture. The back is flat. The spine is elongated. The knee is slightly bent here for support. And we're going to do 10 on this side, nice and easy. Again, you don't have to go all the way down. You don't want to do that. And you don't want to come up where you're pulling the shoulder up like so. Keep that body, that upper body, nice and still. As I'm doing the one-arm row like this, you get 10 on that side. Very good. We're also going to finish up with another shoulder exercise because that's the one where you really get the gold on stressing the bones and getting that anti-osteoporosis workout where you're going to get more work from gravity. So we're going to finish up this group with a shoulder press. I'm going to show you with feet together, elongated spine as tall as you can pull it, maybe a slight pelvic tilt, maybe a slight bend in the knees. And then here we go. Let's alternate. Okay. One trick I want to show you in this one, I have an ongoing shoulder problem. I'm going to show you from the side. So this would be a typical shoulder press, you see, where the arms are kind of like on the same plane of the body, right? On the same plane. Okay. What I'm doing is I'm coming forward with my elbows about 20 or 30 degrees. So I'm doing it out in front here. What I have found, and smart people have showed me, that this is less stress on the shoulder. And right now, just with these light weights, this bothers me a little bit, where this, I come forward and it feels completely clean, right? So you can try that at home if you want to as you're doing this one. Just let those elbows come forward a little bit. Let's do a couple with pushing straight up and holding. And if you're really good with your balance, you can try this on one foot. Okay? Only if you know your balance is good. Don't start this if you are questioning your balance, okay? But that's another variation that you can bring in. A couple of those held up like so. And there you go. 8 exercises, group 1. Okay. Now, group 2. If you are brand new and you haven't lifted weights in 20 years and so forth, you're done. Stop. Don't do the second set. Let's see how you feel tomorrow. Now, these exercises are easy enough where you can do these workouts every day if you want to. But again, if it's been a long time, I recommend you stop now and don't start with group 2. Okay? Group 2 is going to be just slightly different. We are going to start with the one-arm row again because that is such a gold exercise. Okay? So one-arm row. Spine is flat, straight, head pulled up like this, chin is neutral, knee is slightly bent. Good, nice, solid tripod posture. Pulling the elbow towards the ceiling. A string is pulling my elbow up towards the ceiling. Again, notice I'm not in here. Notice I'm not way out in here. It's the elbow coming up straight up towards the ceiling. Let's try 10 repetitions on this side here. Okay? Beginners, you're done. If you've been lifting weights for a while and you want to do this second group, then that's fine. Say 10 repetitions done slowly. Let's get that on the other side. Same thing, check in with your posture first. Nice flat back, tall spine, chin is neutral, tripod posture, and here we go. We're going to get 10 on this side. Okay? When you come all the way down, you don't have to lock the elbow out. Keep a slight bend. When you come all the way up, make sure you're not going too far where you're pulling the shoulder back. Stay nice and controlled in here. Like everything else in life, you're going to be lifting weights for a lifetime, like Jack LaLanne, who was still lifting weights at age 96 every day and swimming every day. That's my goal. However long I live, I want to be healthy enough to be doing this. So don't try to hurt yourself now. You're in here for the long haul. You want to be lifting weights for years and years. Golden exercise, one-arm row. Next, we're going to do the same shoulder press. I'm going to show you another shoulder exercise in a minute. Shoulder press, same thing. Again, I'm going to show you from the side. Instead of the elbows way back here, bring them forward 20 or 30 degrees. If you have better balance, you can keep your feet together. If you need a little more balance, keep your feet apart to get started, like so. Let's alternate. Let's throw in a couple where we go up and hold, okay? As you get stronger and more fit, if you want to hold this for a while, like so, then you can do that. You can hold up for a while, and you're going to get a better workout. Look at the stress I'm putting into my bones, into my upper body, into my upper spine, my lower spine, and my hips by holding up here, okay? And then down, you can do a couple of these, okay? Obviously, if you're a beginner, you won't be holding quite this long, okay? And then finish off with a couple of alternating. I brought my feet back together to challenge myself a little bit more. There's the shoulder press, okay? Number 3. Let's do a different chest exercise this time. We did the chest press. Let's do the fly. So instead of coming straight up, we're going to be coming off to the side like this. So a couple of things in case you can't see everything that I'm doing. First of all, my elbows are not straight. They are slightly bent. And they're coming up like this, slightly bent. Second, if you have any shoulder issues, make sure you don't come all the way down and hurt that shoulder. You can stop here. And again, if you're doing them on the floor, you're going to have to naturally stop there anyway. Okay? So go slowly. The other thing is you don't have to come up all the way to touch. You don't have to. You can stop about here if you'd like. Okay? So this will be the fly. It's called a chest fly. We'll do 10 of these. Just a different variation. Now, I have a shoulder problem, but I have found that the dumbbell fly here goes just fine. It does not seem to be a problem for my shoulder, so I do this one as well. So, the fly. If you have any problem with the fly, you can just alternate that with the chest press if you'd like, okay? So that's the fly. Let's go into the tricep extension. I'm going to show you another tricep exercise in a moment. Tricep extension. Same position as the one-arm row. Nice flat spine, elongated spine, tripod position, elbows locked. And let's get 10 of those to the back. I'll show you another tricep exercise when we come back to it. Okay? So you're going to do 10 of these. Make sure you're not moving any parts of the body. You notice that my shoulder to my elbow is nice and locked against my body. That's not moving at all. I don't come down like this. I don't come up like that. I'm keeping it nice and locked. Let's get that on the other side. Okay, same thing. Check in with the posture first. Arm is locked against your body. Extend. Good, you're going to get 10 of these. The slower you go, the more work for the muscle. You might find that later on, as time goes on, if you start getting bored with the workout, you go even slower. You go as slow as you possibly can for a couple of repetitions, and then you go a little bit faster for a couple of repetitions as well. That's the tricep extension. Okay? Next, we're going to move on to a different bicep exercise. Instead of doing the regular curl, I'm going to do what is called a concentration curl. You don't have to do this one if you don't want to. If you're comfortable with the other one that we did, then do the other one. But here's a variation if you want. Sitting is best. Bend forward, nice tall elongated spine. One hand rested on your leg, other one is on the inside of your knee, and then you curl like this. Now on this one, you're going to be using a lighter weight. You'll be using a lighter weight, okay? Because this is called a concentration curl, it's very concentrated on the bicep, so you don't need a heavy weight for this one. You're going to need something light. And go slow, take your time. Okay. Notice I can still do this with an elongated spine. It's easy to do this on this one. Don't do that. Okay, get 10 on one side. Get that posture nice and straightened out like so as you're doing this one. Okay, concentration curl if you want to mix it up a little bit. And that's this one here. Okay, 10 of those going slow. Very good. Okay, that's 5 sets. Now we're going to come back and we're going to do another tricep exercise. This one's going to be different. It's called a skull crusher because we don't want you to do that. Skull crusher. One weight. When you get into position, don't hold it over your face. Again, if you're uncomfortable doing this one, then do the tricep extension. Okay? Hand goes here to hold this arm straight up towards the ceiling and make sure it doesn't move. And then you come straight up like so. Okay? Skull crusher. It's very much the same motion as the other one, right? It's just a variation of it. Again, if you feel uncomfortable doing this one, don't do it. Just do the tricep extension. So you can see that the weight is close to your head, right? So be careful. And the other thing too, as I switch over to the other side, do not pass the weight across your face. Either pass it in front of your body. That's the best way to do it. You can pass it over your head if you want to, if it's light enough. But don't pass it in front of the face is the idea, because that's why it's called skull crusher, right? Here it is on the other side. Okay. Notice again, this part of the arm is not moving at all. We want that nice and still. To make sure it stays still, I just use my hand here, just as a little more of a steady base as I do the skull crusher for tricep. Okay. Get 10 of those on each side. Good. Okay. Now you've done 6 sets. We have to come full circle around. We're going to come to the last 2. Back to a back exercise. Let me show you a different one. You can certainly just do the one arm row if you want to, or you can do a reverse fly. So a moment ago we did a chest fly like this. Now we're going to do a reverse fly for the back. Sitting, feet and legs together, bending forward but a tall spine. None of this. Tall spine. Weights are down here, and then you pull them up towards the ceiling. A couple of things. Go with a very light weight when you start this one, number 1. Number 2, my elbows are bent. They're not straight. They're bent. Okay? Third, I'm not doing this. This doesn't help us. I'm keeping the body straight and flat, using it all in here. Next, try to squeeze the shoulder blades together. That's the key part of this exercise. Feel it in your shoulder blades. It's not flapping the arms more. It's more of a shoulder exercise like this. You see? Okay, so that's what you're trying to do, is squeeze the blades together. Squeezing the blades together. Okay, go slow. I don't have to come all the way up here either. You just have to get that motion in there. This is called a reverse fly. If you're uncomfortable doing this one, then just do the one arm row. The last part is don't let your shoulders come up and then do it. Pull them down. Pull them down. Concentrate on them being pulled downward as you do them. And then we finish up with a shoulder exercise. This is the last one. I'll just keep these weights here. A lateral raise. You can do the lateral raise like so. Okay. Notice the elbows are again slightly bent. I'm checking in with my posture. I'm making sure I'm nice and tall. Chin is neutral. Pelvic is tucked down a little bit. Elbows with a slight bend. Or you can do this bent at 90 degrees. This is a little more difficult. But going slowly. If you feel uncoordinated with that one, that's fine. We'll visit it again. We can do the lateral raise. You're going to get 10 repetitions here. And then pat yourself on the back because you are done. Thank you very much for joining me on this workout, and join me again. I'm Dr. Scott Fuller.